Hello, ladies and germs. I have another little side project which I'm working on currently. So, as you know, I spend 99.99999% of my time around here, and I am a bit of an audiophile. I live for music. Whether, like, dude, my musical taste spans from, like, the beginning of time to the most current industrial music of this era. Like, I listen to everything. Enya, Ministry, Larry McKennitt, Johnny Hollow's one that I just added to my category. Me Not You, Aesthetic Perfection, Rabbit Junk, Filter, all sorts of shit like that, right? Hell, I even love the Dixie Chicks and, stuff like that. So I listen to literally everything. By the way, Ghost Main, Ice Peak, but I lean kind of towards darker music. Doesn't matter what genre, but dark music. I love dark music, okay? So anyway, that being said, my computer speakers here, I'll show you. I got these guys here, they're Hercules brand. They're basically reference monitors. They're cost-effective reference monitors. I bought them at Mars Music here in Peterborough. I think I paid about $130 for the set. They have the most epic sound ever, by the way. They're decent. And then this is basically how I control this is my audio out to my reference. Ooh, my hands are so dry. This is my reference monitor out from my computer. I've got my audio in here, which is actually like multimedia audio. And then this one here is basically just voice audio from like Zoom sessions and stuff. And the reason why I do it like this is because then I can turn the music up and down or turn the voice up and down. So I'm using two audio outputs from my computer to be able to externally balance them rather than do it internally. And then this is my record interface specifically for microphone, okay? Now, that being said, that way I can get exactly the audio balance that I want when I'm working because I love listening to music. Now, to separate my music from my workstation a little bit, what I've done is I put my Alexa on the wall here. Stop. And I'm using that to go down to a mixer. The only purpose of this mixer right now, which I also bought at Mars Music, by the way, as you can see, it's literally got one in, one out. Purpose for this is so that I've actually got control over my treble, bass, and then my subwoofer, which my current subwoofer, cats are loving sitting on this new one, is right down here. It's an old Sony, okay, powered sub. So that's basically the only purpose of that mixer is for equalization, right? This is what I'm going to be installing shortly. Now, what I've done is over here in the studio space, I've got these Yamaha speakers, which I got used from one of my friends, actually, who, he does auctions and things like that, and he had these beautiful little Yamahas here. And so I've got them stashed, right? So I've got two of them up here, and they've got the most epic sound. They sound great, and I managed to, like, hide the cabling up and over the trim, or the moldings. And so now I use this. I use the black Echo Dot over here. I don't want to trigger her. to stream my music to using Spotify, and then I used an old car stereo amplifier, which I mounted up inside of my cabinet here with a little 12-volt power supply on it to drive the speakers. So the speakers actually connect to here to power them, and then from there, that goes to the output of this mixer here. So that's basically what I'm doing, but one, it's tricky to balance everything so that I get like good, decent sound. The other thing as well is I want the bass, like the subwoofer is intent in filling. It's a fill device. It's designed to help you get complete audio, because like when you've just got the little speakers and they're not driving hard, you can't feel the music. You can't truly experience it. I don't know how to really put it into words, but if you're into music the way I am, or just audio in general, you'll understand what I'm saying. So that's why I've got the sub. Now, I'm gonna move this. There we go. So that little sub there. The problem with it is that it's only got two controls on it. It's got your phase and your center. The phase is in and out, and then the center, and then your volume. So it's okay. I mean, like, it does fill, but I've got no scoop control. I can't balance it. So it's basically just, a huge, broad bandwidth fill. And I don't necessarily want that. Sometimes I want a little bit of punch. Sometimes I do want that deep fill. So, with me being an upcycler, most of the stuff that I have is rescued, upcycled, or repaired, right? Not only to save money, but avoid putting things in the dump, right? So a close friend of mine actually gave me this beautiful Rockford Fosgate vehicle woofer, or subwoofer, for helping him out with a bunch of stuff. Thank you, James. You're awesome. So it's a nice little subwoofer, and it'll actually fit perfectly into the space right here. where the current sub is, and I think I can get rid of this mixer because I'll show you the subwoofer, or the drivers that he gave me for it. It's currently on my workbench, buried, and I am sorry that I'm recording this on my cell phone, but I'm also not sorry because this isn't a high priority video. This is just another upcycling video to show you guys some stuff that I do. So this is the Rockford Fosgate car amplifier that he gave me with it, and it's actually a sexy little amplifier, right? It's sleek, it's pretty, but the coolest thing is, okay, we've got 2 inputs on it. So I can actually do 4-channel surround, or my actual intention is to actually run the Alexa directly into this guy, because the Alexa's got a flat audio output, right? So if I can adjust the tones on here to drive the appropriate speakers the way that I want them to, and then I use the Alexa's volume as the actual volume for the unit, I don't need the mixer anymore, do I? That's right. And then I basically only have the Alexa on the wall, this amplifier mounted to the back of the subwoofer, and the subwoofer itself. And this will drive, here's the cool part. This will drive all the speakers. So my Yamahas will go here, so left and right, and then this one will be bridged for the subwoofer. So now I've got one amplifier doing both jobs here. And you're probably wondering, well, okay, well that's great and all, why wouldn't you just go and buy a stereo? Well, if you go to a scrap yard or somebody who does scrap metal, you can get car audio equipment for nothing. I mean, like, this might be, I'm just shooting numbers off, this might be a $400 amplifier. You can usually pick them up used, maybe a little bit scratched up and whatever, but in perfect operational condition for like, you know, like $100 or maybe even $50. A speaker like that new might cost you like $400 to $600. I don't know what it's worth, but you can pick them up used for like $100 or less, right? And then use it in your home like I intend to do. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how the hell are you going to power this? Well, I know that this amplifier's rated for about 300 watts, right? Well, it just so happens I have a 360 watt Meanwhile rip-off power supply here. It's 12 volts, 30 amps, 360 watts continuous. And I am simply going to mount this on the back of the speaker with this amplifier. So the idea here, and this is where we'll probably move over to the top down for the rest of the video, is I can mount the power supply low, and it's got a fan on it. It's not like this thing's going to overheat and set my house on fire. Yeah, I can Velcro this to the back of the speaker here. Okay, so that'll all be a nice tidy installation, a nice tidy package, okay? Now, as for the amplifier itself, I think what I'm going to do, let me see if I can hold this with my knees, is I intend to Velcro it, not screw it, Velcro it to the back of the speaker like so. Now, this will keep all the connectors recessed enough that I won't have to worry about them getting jabbed or broken or whatever, right? So, amplifier up there, now that I'm looking at it, and then I could put the power supply right here, just Velcro it all on. And then I get this nice, tidy little package that will slip into this space here, and I'll have way more control over the bass and treble. I'll be able to get the sound sounding as sharp as I want. I'll be able to, actually, on the front speakers, which will be the Yamahas, I can low pass, and then on I can turn up the punch a little bit to really give it a scoop and actually increase the bass on them. But then I can also increase the bass on the subwoofer itself and do a high pass at 80 hertz and trim off basically everything over 80 hertz. And I can also adjust my frequencies here, right? So, or sorry, what is it? Yeah, I want all pass on the fronts. And is it low pass? Maybe it's low pass I want, yeah, because rear frequency, low pass only, that's right. I need to read up on that, because I think that the pass is actually what's going through. So low pass means low going through, high pass means high going through. So then technically that would mean that I would go high pass on the front, but if I go all pass, then I can use them as full range, right? Anyway, I'm not an audio expert, so by all means, I'll be Googling that to find out what the low pass and high pass actually do. But looking at this tells me that I want low pass for the subwoofer so that I can actually adjust the center frequency for my subwoofer. So that's today's little project. Now, I'm going to put some rubber cement on that, by the way, and glue it back on, but I'm going to put some more of this daily driver on my channel because I'm a big upcycler. And yes, I do network engineering and electronics and stuff like that, but you know what? There's a lot of other that I do. I'm not a two-dimensional being. I do all sorts of so why not share it with you guys? I've been doing that more and more, as you can see, right? So, yeah, this is going to be technically the intro video here. And, you know what? Maybe, f*** it, I'll just film the whole thing on my cell phone now because I've already started, and this way it's all one source. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some isopropyl alcohol, and I should probably get a little stand for my smell phone. I think I've got one right here. No, we'll jump cut. I'm going to actually grab a mount so that I can, I think I got a mount over here actually somewhere, buried under the f***ing detritus. I knew I had one. Yeah, I'm going to grab a mount. I'm going to put this on a tripod, and then I'll continue the recording. And I'll show you guys the Velcro I'm going to use, and we'll Velcro everything to the back. So it'll be all nice and pretty. And then the cables are coming from Amazon today because I couldn't actually find the specific cables that I needed locally, which sucks. Pisses me off. So yeah, we're going to do a jump cut. I'm going to have to dig out that thing that I needed, the bracket for mounting my smell phone to a tripod. There it is. This guy right here. Jump cut. Cha-cha-cha. All right, so it looks like I am out of rubber cement at the moment, so I can't necessarily fix the carpeting on the back of the speaker, but I have the rest of the stuff, so I can just pick it up at some point, not a big deal. So I'm gonna use this 10-pound Velcro, which I got at Home Depot. So I'm gonna steal some of the, let's do a little test here. Oh yeah, that's nice, that'll work. So I'm gonna steal a couple of strips of this. We'll do the power supply first. I'll cut off my pieces. Fingers work. There we go. So just cut off a little piece of this. Let's get our second one. Oh, the anxious energy. I had coffee about an hour ago, and now my freaking heart is racing. Okay, so that's those for the power supply. Now for this part here, I'm tempted to actually remove this, the feet, but that'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it? I mean, I could screw this on, but I like the idea of Velcro. But, if it works, then this would be a nice way of mounting so I don't have to damage the actual speaker cabinet. Not that it would, it's just I don't like the idea of a tuned little cheapy enclosure that, especially since it's Rockford Fosgate. Alright, so we've got our pieces now. So the thing you have to remember when you're adhering things to other things is that you want the surface without contamination. Otherwise, if you have contamination, you're going to run into issues where you have adhesion problems, or adherence problems, I guess would be the proper pronunciation there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ISO on here. Now, this is great. I use these oil volate containers because they're just perfect. I mean, like I said, I'm an upcycler, so when I throw something out, it's going to work perfect for a specific application. Now, I'm going to clean this off with microfiber. Here we go. Okay, we got our microfiber. Let's, did I just hear a vehicle stop? Is that my Amazon dude? Not yet. Let's warm it up just a little bit. We'll help get the last of the ISO off. And it'll also make this stick better. Throw my pieces now. These are the long ones. These are for here. These are the shorter ones. These are for here. So let's get sticking. Oh, I love projects. And because I live in a house with cats, cat hair is always present. Now, you don't dare do this in a car because there's so much vibration and movement that it would definitely cause shit to shake free. Oh, I broke a nail again. God damn, it's dry outside. But the humidity in my house is currently at 25%, and I've been boiling water all day. There we go. The Amazon guy did show up. The ninja. There we go. So this guy here now. Oh, it's 2 for Amazon. Alexa, notification.
One new notification from Amazon Shopping. 2 shipments have arrived, including RCA to 6.35 millimeters.
Cool. Can you believe that? The Amazon guy, or ninja I should call him, just showed up just as I'm working on this. That's awesome. Not sure why there was a bit of dust in there. It could be because I used this for the air fiber cleaning and I haven't washed it. Let's hope this works. Oh, yeah, that sticks good. All right, here we go. So you know when we clean it, if you clean it with a little bit of ISO, it gets really on there. She will not go, especially this 3M adhesive. There we go. So now, I think I want these on this side. So I can stick this guy on here like so. And is it going to stick is going to be the big question. I really hope it does. Yeah, I think it will. And then the power supply is, oh, that really stuck well. I'm going to put it up just a wee bit higher here. And if the fuzz doesn't stick well, you can actually take a razor and just gently take off the longer tails so that the Velcro will actually adhere better. So there, everything's mounted on there. Let's go outside for a second and get the Amazon stuff, and I'll put this back in its case. And I'm one of these weirdos who likes to save the cases, by the way, so I'm just gonna put this right back inside here. And then put it on my utility shelf. Being a maker is fun.
I like this.
Put that right there for now. Alright, plastic. Let's go outside and see if the connectors showed up. Alright. I think it's all inside of here. So now, because I'm working with 2 channels here, FYI, I've got a few different things. Oh, so they put one set of cables in one box, or in the bag. So this is actually in case I continue to use the equalizer, which I'm going to try to eliminate. But this will actually go from the output of the equalizer to the input on the speakers here. And then that means inside of here would be the rest of my connectors. Remember, folks, buy local and support your local economy before you order anything online. I think that's the rest of them. Maybe. I am missing a cable that was supposed to be here today, but whatever. I had to get a new memory card for the Alpha because 128 gigabytes is not a lot when you're recording. I learned the other night when I was trying to make that air fiber video, I exhausted the memory on the camera, the 128 gig, in like 45 minutes. Was nuts. So the idea of this guy here is to, well, this is exactly the reverse of what I ordered. Oh my god, you f***ing bastards. Amazon is becoming a lot like eBay. I shit you not. This should actually be 2 males and 2 females, because the idea of this was to actually go into these connectors like so. Well, that sucks.
That sucks.
Amazon is becoming like eBay. That's enough of my bitching though. So anyway, the power for this is going to be quite simple. I'm just going to run a couple of, it's 30 amps, so I should run a couple of number 8s from here down to here. And then these guys are going to go out to the speakers. I've got the leads for the big speaker here. Might actually clean these up a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to use the same cable here. Actually, I can use the same cable for the amplifier and that, and there's enough left over that I can easily do that. So I guess the first things first, I'm going to create a new cable. I got to get the cables in order before I can actually do the project. So I'm going to have to order new cables from Amazon again because, hey, you can't always expect to get what you actually ordered on Amazon. I've suffered that a lot. In fact, I bought a Sony Alpha 5000 back in May for the channel. That's the Alpha 6400 replaced that. And the thing arrived secondhand, even though I paid for a new camera. And that's from the actual Sony store. So, gotta be careful, folks. Here we go. So, this guy here, just like that. And then the cable routing isn't that difficult. Like this. Actually, you know what? I might just keep these like this. So it needs to be to here. And oh, this is gonna make some people cringe. There we go.
You sick bastard.
There we go. So we've got that for that. And then we will use this for power. And if I want to add a power switch to this thing, which I could stick somewhere else, I don't know, I could just simply put a little switch across the positive to remote, and the remote's actually what turns the amplifier on. If I just want it to be on 24/7, I can simply just bridge them. It's just positive. So we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to prep some cables for this and reorder the proper cables from a different seller. Okay, that pisses me off. I'm actually missing a cable too. I'm actually missing my my 1/4 inch, or sorry, 1/8 inch. There should be an 1/8 inch to RCA in the order as well, but clearly that didn't show up. So whatever. Not salty. So I might be missing a couple of cables right now, but on the bright side, I've got everything hooked up now. I had a little bit of a scare because apparently there's a really, this is an intelligent bloody amplifier. It's very, very capable of detecting on whether there's actually output, like a load of speakers connected to it, which with any kind of amplifier, being RF, car audio, whatever, they have safety circuits built into them so you don't pop the output transistors, okay? So I have disconnected my little audio amplifier up there in the cabinet, and I have now, by the way, the glue came undone on here, so I might actually just have to bite the bullet and screw that into the back of the cabinet, but it's kind of neat. So I've got the speakers in the other room, the Yamaha's connected up here. I've got the subwoofer bridged in right here. I've got my 8 gauge here, and as soon as the amp fired up, by the way, the fan spun up on the power supply. Neat, eh?
That's neat.
You guys can call me very Canadian because I noticed that I do say "eh" quite a bit. Maybe that is a real stereotype. There you go. So everything's hooked up here. We can see that we have power. Let me turn it around. I may actually have to change my angle. Sorry, just a tiny bit. Let's do this. There we go. We'll just leave that like that for now. My whole house is a studio, so I really don't care if it's a mess. So, power came on after I hooked up the speakers and got audio going in through here. So as soon as I hooked these guys up, I started getting some audio. Now that's really cool. Now, I don't know if I can actually do anything about sound. Let's see here. So I want all pass on those speakers, and I'm going to give them a little bit of punch. And I can actually adjust the gain on here now. So I'm going to set the nominal volume on Alexa to 50% here. And you know what, it, I'm not going to monetize the video for sure. So let me put on my new favorite band, Johnny Hollow, from here in Guelph, from Guelph, Ontario. So I've got that on half right now. So it's 50% on Spotify. Already just by itself, it sounds better. I should actually see if I can take this straight off of Alexa and bypass the EQ now. Let's turn this up a little bit. Cool. Nice, eh? Ooh, that is wonderful. Now, as soon as my splitter cables show up, which are literally the opposites of these guys. God, I had this all show up today in perfect timing and everything, but these are like female. We don't want females. We want male on that end and female on that end. I guess I'm going to have to like go and drown these somewhere or something. What can I do to further test this? Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I might actually be able to make use of these stupid things right now, actually. Let's see here. I'm gonna come straight off of Alexa. Right here. I'm going to split, or use these as a coupler instead of a splitter. And, no, I actually need longer cable. Let's see here. Yeah, let's try this. By the way, the music that I'm listening to is by a Guelph band known as Johnny Hollow. And I love these guys. In fact, I want to reach out and ask them if I can actually start using their music in my content. It'd be pretty cool. Here we go. So we're coming straight off of the Alexa now. I'm curious to see what kind of sound we'll get off this. And sub isn't hooked up just yet. It's not bad. It's pretty flat, but I'd really like to scoop it. I'd like to actually have more bass, more treble, and less mid to actually give it that nice scooped sound. But still miles better than just the Alexa sounded before going straight into the other amp. So I mean, like, I could keep this little mixer around just to tune it up a little bit. So what I can do is I can zero this. You know what I might be able to do too. So if I go, oh, my battery pack died on the camera. Right, left, I'm gonna bring the levels right down here. There we go. Now, let me grab a battery first of all. I gave lots of these guys around, by the way. Make sure I tighten that. It is a significantly larger battery, so I'll just mark that as red because it's not charged anymore. Yeah, I'm getting really impressed with the sound that I'm getting out of this bad boy. See, I got the gain way down on here. Still a little spicy off the Alexa. Stop. There we go. Alexa, continue playback. Okay, cool. Let's slide this guy in now. Next, I'm just going to check and see if I've got any more audio cables here. Alright, so let's get rid of this thing, because this will actually give me a second set of leads, specifically for the subwoofer temporarily. So here, let's hook up the sub now. Oh. Oh, my power supply's tripping. +6 instead of +12, because I will need to put a larger power supply on here now, apparently. I might swap that one out with a couple of 20 amps that I have sitting downstairs. Ooh. Yeah, that's way better sound than I was getting originally, so I can swap these outputs here now, plug them in here. Sounds a million times better. And then this guy here, I'm gonna unplug this Sony, because now I also don't need 2 amplifiers running just to get decent sound. This Sony can come out of here now. There we go. But see, with your audiophile friends now, you're gonna say, well, yeah, it's a little bit of a better approach, but you don't necessarily have to buy a brand new Yamaha or you know, clips or whatever the hell sound system is pretty awesome at the time, you can just upcycle some used car audio equipment. And everybody's throwing out home theater speakers constantly, right? So that's exactly what I've done here. I've got car audio equipment, and there I've got some home theater speakers from a home theater system that somebody was just, they were just done with the speakers, Let's see if this shorter cable will fit for the time being until my proper cables come in from Amazon tomorrow. They will. Great. It's a lot tidier. Isn't that just wonderful? Now I can actually change this up again. Come off the back here, up to my Alexa. It's all hooked up, nice and tidy. I'll have to tighten up these audio cables here. Let's see if this will slide in now. Holy hell, it's like I designed it this way. Wow, would you look at that? It's just too bad that I can't hide these audio cables a little better. That looks wonderful. And it sounds great. Maybe I'll just leave the mixer in, honestly, because, it's not terrible. And I can bring up the highs just a tiny bit, which is what I was hoping for. There. Now, how does that look on the shelf, too? How does that look? Looks pretty decent, doesn't it? So now you can see I've got the horrible gray puck, or black puck here. USB and audio coming down behind. If you want that 3D printed file for the classic Echo Dot, by the way, I went on Thingiverse and I looked up mounts, and I found that one. It was with a little bit of fine tuning because I suck at 3D printing. I got it, printed, and everything's great. So again, we come down from the horrible black puck to the PV mixer here, to this channel in, and all this is doing is acting as a EQ and balancing for the sub at this point. So the sub out is coming off the headphones, the master out is going to the speakers, and then the Alexa is coming in through left and right on channel 3 and 4, which are combined on this channel here, allowing me to adjust the bass and treble right here. So I've got the treble turned up a little bit, and I've got the bass at neutral, and there we go. Now, for the sub right now, the sub is currently connected to the headphone out, so what I've got here is I can control the sub levels, so the balance between the bass and the main drivers, right here on the headphone jack, and as I turn it up or down, I've got it. Let's choose a different track now. Ooh, and I can adjust this to get rid of a lot of the... I can tighten that up if I want to. Nice! So there we go, I just upcycled a car stereo kit into a home stereo for in here. And let me grab my, I'm going to demount this cell phone. Neat, eh? There we go. And now the amplifier that I had stashed inside of here, it can go away. I can actually take this out now. So that's all I did. I just stuck the original amplifier in there to run my two little yummy speakers. So there's to it. So here, let me put this back on the tripod now. All right. So I hope that was fun and informative, that you guys got to see a little life hack. Upcycling, they call it, right? Using stuff you can get at the scrapyard or from like a friend who has a scrap metal bin or old car stereo equipment, basically, and some old home theater speakers. The driver, who knows what happened to the amplifier for that system? I think these are actually off one of those ones that has the 5 speakers and the DVD player, and essentially all I did was, I've just got the 2 speakers there, running up the car stereo amplifier, which is also driving the subwoofer, and just a little 30 amp power supply to drive the thing. Now, this is designed, it wants 50 amps for total power, but I'm not going to run it that hard. So, obviously I'm going to bring up 2 power supplies from the basement, a couple of 40 amp DIN rail mount to run this thing off of, but still. The whole idea is now I've got some stuff that would have otherwise gone to recycling or ended up buried in the dump somewhere, and I've turned it into an actual decent home stereo. And all my music's coming from either Spotify or other streaming services through this down to the system. So doesn't that make a lot of sense? Upcycling's good. There's a lot of things you can use in your home. And if you're one of these tiny home people who's built yourself a tiny home, you want to keep all your stuff on DC anyway because it's going to be more efficient. You run your solar system on 24 volts, bring it into your batteries and whatnot, and they use down converters to run your stuff. To get a 500 watt down converter, buck converter from 24 volts down to 12, it's like $40. And so you can tie this 12 volt system directly into your 24 volt bus and run it, no problems. Same with lighting and whatnot. So there you go. Isn't that cool? I hope you guys really enjoyed that video. Anyway, time for the outro. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you guys have any suggestions or if you just want to hate on me, whatever. Yay, I'm a big kid. And if you want to help the channel out, by all means, please join the Patreon because that helps pay for editing, it helps pay for equipment that we need for the channel, it helps keep us fed. Alright, so thank you to all of our Patreons who are currently supporting this channel and keeping us alive. And remember, without your donations, we wouldn't be able to produce any content, unfortunately. It's getting a lot better. So, thanks guys. We'll catch you later. Love you.